I thought I was making this airplane better, but actually, I was ruining it. The wings broke off. This is the story of how I built a perfectly good airplane out of a 2x4 and then over-engineered it until it barely flew. I just finished this workbench build of that workbench. It was a super fun build. If you didn't watch that video, please go watch it now. It's great. I need to build something on my new bench. I'm like really into airplanes and I have a lot of leftover lumber from this bench, a lot of 2x4s specifically. So I'm gonna see if I can make an airplane out of a 2x4. Wish me luck. So here is my raw material for the build. It is a 2x4. It is construction grade lumber. There is nothing special or fancy about it. So what I think I'm gonna do, ouch. I'm gonna resaw one of the 2x4s so that I get a plank, and I'll use that plank as the wing. And I will build the entire airplane around whatever that plank happens to be or do. Here we go, let's find some wood. Ooh, look at this. Not only does it have very few knots for what it is, it's quarter sawn. Look at that. With my board selected, I planed the top, cut it to length, marked out the wing, and started sawing. I'm feeling the board start to like pinch my blade. That's usually a sign that the board is curving as I'm cutting it, which is not good. To relieve the pressure from my blade, I used my fingers to hold the kerf open while sawing. Ow! It did not go well. I cut myself a band-aid. Let's make a shim. Shim shimmery, shim shimmery, shim shim shimmery. And I just banged my saw into my vise. It looks okay. Shim it up. Haha, look at that. There's one spot of this that definitely didn't turn out very good. And it's right there. I'm just going to try to fill it up with wood glue. The tolerances on this entire project are really high, and I don't think it's gonna matter too much. At least I think they're high. I think they're high now. They're high now as my dreams of the thing flying are still positive. I'm sure there'll come a point when I'm trying to get it to fly and it won't fly that I will say, yeah, I think the margins for error were too high. I think we should have been more precise. But we'll see about that. After cleaning up the wing, I headed outside for some highly scientific aerodynamics testing. I guess I'm gonna call that a success. I think it's time to make a body. A body is born. Then I cut out the tailplane. This turned out so much better than my main wing. Then I assembled the parts. I have the airplane all connected together here. So to angle the horizontal stabilizer in the back, that's a piece of the shim that I made earlier when I was sawing my wing. It's really heavy. It's like really heavy. And I really don't think it's going to do much flying, but let's go give it a shot. Just as I suspected. So when the airplane was flying briefly, it pretty immediately dropped tail first. It balances there, which is behind the main wing. We want the center of gravity to be just in front of the main wing. So I'm gonna move the wing back an inch. Yeah, we'll see if that works. It flew! Then I removed some weight from the body and glued everything together. I'm about ready to stick the wing on, but I want it to resist rolling. And one way that I can do that is by angling each wing up slightly. But the first thing I need to do to make that happen is to saw the wing in half. I'm not looking forward to this. Okay, here we go. It did tear out pretty bad, but looks okay. I think this nose is a little too long, so I'm just gonna chop it off, not precisely, and make up for it by adding extra weight. Much better. So I shortened the nose of the aircraft to make it look cool. I had to attach every bolt I had to the front of it, which I think looks absolutely ridiculous, but balance is in front of the wing, so it's really heavy now. The only thing left to do is to go out and fly it. Ugh. Lost the tail fin and the main wing on that one. I'm gonna try and fix the nosedive by just throwing it a lot harder. Ow! I'm gonna do that again. It's actually flying. This is really cool. What I'm gonna do is just take one of these pieces of hardware off of the front. Wow, there's a lot of tape on there. All right, I got that off. God, that's cool. I'm so excited. It's working really well. Well, there you have it. Can you make a 2x4 into a real airplane? Absolutely, the answer is yes. And this is where I should have stopped. I should have taken the win and moved on. But I didn't. I had in my head some kind of mythically perfect flight, complete with a flare and a buttery touchdown. And I kept working in pursuit of that flight. And while I was flying and crashing the airplane over and over again, I made it stronger and stronger and heavier and heavier. And at no point in the rest of this journey does that airplane fly as nicely as what you just saw. Ladies and gentlemen, what comes next is how I ruined the 2x4 glider. I started by giving it a very attractive paint job and registering it with the authorities. Then I took it to the largest hill I could find and let her rip. Unfortunately, the hot weather caused the glue joints to fail pretty much immediately. So I decided the wings needed to be reinforced, and I designed a solution that was pure insanity. I started by sawing 3 notches in each wing. Then I sawed off a block and worked it into a shape that would slot into both wings. It would support them from below and provide miles of surface area for adhesive. Then I filled the cavernous gaps with steel reinforced epoxy, which is extremely strong. This solution was very effective at keeping the wings together, but the added weight made the airplane much less willing to fly. Let's watch. And while the wings didn't come apart anymore, everything else on the airplane continued to break. No! The wings broke off. Ugh, it's broken. Failures and struggles aside, I'm considering this project a success. The 2x4 glider is possible. Maybe somebody somewhere can even make a really good one. However, I have my doubts that it's possible to make one that tolerates crashing. But isn't that true of most aircraft? The real trouble with the airplane breaking constantly is that it made dialing in flight characteristics really time-consuming, because I'd usually only get a couple flights in before I'd have to spend hours making repairs. The more ambitious I got with those repairs, the more I lost sight of the real goal. Ultimately, that ideal soaring flight eluded me. But the dream is not dead. Mark my words. This will not be my last airplane. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. If you would like to see me build more interesting projects, please click the subscribe button. And if you've ever built an airplane like this, please let me know how you did it in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.